Greetings, folks. Annihilation here with a World of Warships replay. And this is a match brought to us by Schepker in the Tier 6 Japanese battleship, the Fuso. And Schepker has successfully sync dropped with a division of 3 destroyers of players from the same clan as himself, specifically Sea Aggie 97 in the Tier 6 Royal Navy destroyer HMS Icarus, jghawks in the premium Tier 6 Royal Navy destroyer HMS Gallant, and with skunkya in the Tier 6 Japanese destroyer, the Fubuki. You can see that they're in a standard battle on straight, and this is a double carrier match, which can always make things either interesting or frustrating, depending upon your perspective and how things work out. As far as ship upgrades and commander skills, Schepker has a very heavy focus on survivability. His commander is Yamamoto, and this is often referred to as a tank build, although he does take the steering gears modification 2 in slot 4 to give the ship a little more agility than it would otherwise have. The highlights for this battle are going to center around the influence that this 4-person division is going to have on the battle. And unfortunately, I only have the replay for Schepker, but I will call out in the commentary actions or events that take place involving his division mates. First salvo out here is on the opposing Emile Berton. And the Emile is a very quick cruiser, and so unfortunately that salvo goes long and he doesn't get any shells to connect. But the Emile is going to make a turn here and is going to put himself broadside to Schepker. He's going to have his next salvo ready to go here in just a couple seconds. But the Emile is also sailing into a wall of torpedoes sent by Schepker's allies. Salvo looked pretty good, but it was a little disappointing with only 2 overpens, but it won't really matter here because skunkya in the Fubuki is going to get a torpedo hit and take the Emile Berton out of the match for first blood and the first kill for this 4-person division. Now, part of what's going to happen here over the next few minutes is kind of something interesting. The Allied team here is going to wear away the northern flank of the opposing team, and conversely, the opposing team is going to wear away the Allied team in the south. And so what's going to end up eventually happening here is that they're going to end up having to converge in the middle. But for now, Schepker and his division mates are going to focus on the ships that are here in the north. You can see that on the far east side of the map around Gulf 10, the Allied Zuiho has come under a carrier strike or a carrier snipe, and so far has survived the snipe. But we do know that he is quite wounded. Schepker is now going to go and line up his next shots here on the opposing Gnevny. He's out of range of the Gnevny's torps because the Gnevny has very short range torps of only 4 kilometers. I think he's probably put his plane up here, probably just make sure he has a decent vantage point firing on the Gnevny because he was about to sail behind the island. And even though he only gets only 3 overpens, that still takes out about 40% of the health of the opposing destroyer. Schepker is trying to get his back 3 guns swung around here so we can get a few more shells off on the Gnevny before the Gnevny gets back into concealment. Gets one regular pen, although it didn't do that much damage. Schepker is called target on the destroyer, hoping that somebody can finish him off, but the destroyer gets into concealment. So you can see here that the north opposing flank has been worn down to the 2 battleships and 1 cruiser. Conversely, the south flank for the Allied team is really getting pushed literally into the corner of the map. There are they have 2 battleships and an aircraft carrier, which are basically being cut off. Since Schepker's got his guns on his port side, he's waiting for this Congo to clear the island so he can send the next salvo. Now, the Allied aircraft carrier has now just dropped on the Congo, and he is going to get a few torpedoes on the battleship, but it won't be quite enough to sink the battleship. Schepker sends out a salvo here. Most of the shells clear, and he is able to get his first kill of the match and the second kill for this 4-person division. Now we're just left on the north flank with 2 opposing ships, a battleship and a destroyer. I'm going to apologize if I said cruiser earlier. I meant a destroyer. Schepker now has a broadside view of the opposing Dallas. And in fact, the Zuiho that was in the south that came under attack was sunk. And in relatively quick succession, Schepker's team responds with 3 more kills, all of which came at the hand of Schepker and his division mates. So his division mates have 5 of the 5 kills for the team. And we can see that the opposing team on the north has been completely eradicated, and conversely, the Allied team, on the south flank has been completely eradicated. So this is what I was talking about earlier, where they're going to end up having to converge in the middle here in a moment. You'll notice that at Foxtrot 8, was the last known position of the opposing Gnevny. In fact, there he just showed up again. He is going to make a run north up the east flank toward the cap, and Skunkya in the Fubuki, who is behind Schepker, is going to turn and head back to the cap to help defend the cap, as well as to help defend the remaining Allied carrier, the Bogue that's in Charlie 10. Kind of a disappointing salvo, a couple of bounces. And you'll also notice that at Echo 3, the Allied Icarus on Schepker's division is heading to intercept one of the opposing carriers. Schepker is now able to finish off the low health Normandy for the 6th kill of their team and the 6th kill for his division. Again, we've lost track of the opposing Gnevny, which was last seen in Foxtrot 8. He is again moving north to attack the remaining Allied carrier, as well as to contest the cap. Just lost the New York to a strike from the opposing Hatsuharu. Now, Schepker sees the muzzle flashes of the Hatsuharu coming from there they are, takes a shot, and he's able to get a couple of overpens for his fourth kill, and again, now his division has all 7 of the kills for their team. Schepker is now taking a pretty sizable salvo from the opposing Bayern. You can now see the other carrier is wearing that very lovely Twitch camo. We now can see that the opposing Gnevny has made it to Delta 8, and Skunkya and the Fubuki has gone to try to intercept him. Schepker's team does have a lead here because they have a 1-ship advantage, plus they are in the cap of the opposing team. Schepker is getting dropped here by one of the opposing carriers because he is attacking the carriers. He limits it to a single torpedo. He does take flooding. His damage control is on cooldown for the next few seconds, but he'll survive the flooding here at this point. And there, Siagi in the Icarus is able to finish off one of the carriers. So, and there went Skunkya, who was in the Fubuki defending the cap. So the Gnevny has sunk Skunkya, and he now has a free run on the opposing carrier, or the allied carrier, I'm sorry, that is in Bravo 9. And again, Schepker's division has 8 of the 8 kills for the team. The allied Bogue has been sunk by the Gnevny, so our allies have no aircraft carrier at this point. They're even on ships, but they do have a narrow lead because they have been in the cap. And the opposing carrier is now just sunk by Siagi in the Icarus. So Schepker's division of 4 ships now has all 9 kills for the team. The opposing Gnevny, which is up by the cap, did sink the allied Bogue. He is now headed back toward the cap. There is high caliber and Confederate for Schepker with that salvo on the Bayern. And here Siagi is able to sink the last opposing destroyer on the team. So Schepker's team has 10 of the 10 kills for their team. Or Schepker and Schepker's division, that is. Now, the Gallant on Schepker's division has headed back north to defend the cap and to work on hopefully getting the Gnevny down so the Gnevny doesn't take the cap. Frankly, at this point, that is the main option for the opposing team to try to win this battle at this point, is to take the opposing cap. Kind of straddling the Bayern here. There he gets a few shells on. Gallant is almost to the cap. The Gnevny will not be able to finish the cap by the time the Gallant arrives. And jghawks in the Gallant did arrive, did locate the Gnevny, and has now taken them out. So the allied cap is now secured, and the opposing team is down to the single low health Bayern. Again, I should note that Schepker and his division mates or clan mates have 11 of the 11 kills for this battle. Bayern is almost down here. Salvo out. And Schepker gets the kill and secures Kraken Unleashed for himself, as well as ensuring that he and his division mates or clan mates get all 12 kills for this battle. So kind of an interesting result, and they also come in the top 4 for experience on their team. So I hope you enjoyed the video and the commentary. Please do leave your comments below, and as always, we hope to see you out there and wish you happy sailing.